arts, lifestyle. SNS Online.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, take me back in time before we lost, before we failed. On the other side of town, I know you're out with her, you lied to me, you let me down. Now my bags are packed and the city's in the mirror. Forget all about you and me and this perfect little failure.
Hello and welcome to SNS Online. Chantelle Mussell is a Canadian singer-songwriter who comes from a large family of talented musicians. Her debut EP features the sublime Perfect Little Failure, showcasing her many haunting and dreamy blues and folk songs that chronicle the visceral experiences of life, love and heartbreak. For years, she has been a strong presence in the Victorian music scene, fronting the band Muscle and the Flex, and has also opened for Canadian label artist Aaron Pritchett and the Washboard Union. So, welcome, one and all, to Chantelle Mussell. So Chantelle Mussell, all the way from Canada, welcome to SNS Online, and I have to say, what an incredible debut track. Perfect Little Failure, more like perfect massive hit.
Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. Could you imagine? Could you even imagine?
It's got to happen. It's an instant classic, and your voice is exceptionally beautiful and really seems to lend itself to this type of storytelling. Tell us a little bit about your background and the song itself.
Yeah, well, I come from a really musical family. And so, I think it's kind of just in my bones. It's in my blood. My uncles and my grandfather, my aunt and my grandma, everyone was always playing music and singing, playing the guitar. My grandfather was basically a concert level piano player.
Wow.
But never, I think he maybe took 3 piano lessons in his whole life. He learned how to play his neighbor's piano that sat on their porch. And so it's just this sort of like, I don't know, it's just like built into us, that side of my family. And so as long as I can remember every, Christmas or Thanksgiving, any kind of gathering, there was, 5 guitars and a flute and a piano or 2 and, 6-part harmonies and just these really impressive and amazing sort of performances. I had another uncle, or a cousin rather, a second cousin, and he was a drummer in the 90s for Celine Dion.
Wow!
And so
My partner will love that because he's a massive Celine Dion fan.
She's amazing, like Canadian, treasure, if you will. So there was just always kind of a couple of my uncles played in a country band in the late 80s, early 90s, and I remember they would come to, our little small town in Alberta and sign autographs and sign tapes and stuff. And so I'm naturally, I think I'm very inclined to perform and to be on stage, and I love singing and, just playing for people. So I was born to do it,
Yeah, no, absolutely. You sound so accomplished, and yet this is your debut EP. I mean, there's this whole thing about it takes years to be an overnight success. So presumably you've been, obviously building towards this for a long time. I mean, do you have a catalogue waiting in the wings, lots of amazing songs ready to release?
I hope so. Yeah, I've got, the plan is to release a 7-song EP probably by early summer.
Okay.
So 6 original songs, and then I did a cover. Just kind of all in that sort of dreamy, folky, haunting kind of country vibe. And it's just songs that I've been writing probably for the last 5 years. But I think I wrote my first song probably 15 years ago.
Okay.
And I've been always just, as soon as I could play the guitar, I was writing music. So some of my older stuff, I think it's funny because it's also dramatic. I have I'm a pretty happy, bubbly person. And so it's always quite curious to me how sad and depressing my music is.
Yeah. Because I was going to ask you about the inspiration, but behind the song, I thought, oh God, you had a really horrible time. I'm so sad for you.
Yeah, it's such a curious, like that whole experience. About 4 years ago, I'm like, okay, I'm going to write an album. I'm going to really sit down and actually try and put something together. And that song sort of started as just more of a storyline, like just kind of what are country songs about. And so I was maybe halfway finished it. And then as it turned out, the person that I was dating at the time was dating someone else as well. And so it was this really kind of like eerie, weird situation where I was like needing this inspiration to finish the song. And then my real life reflected what I was actually writing about in this very witchy kind of magical way. So I like to look at that as like, the silver lining. I mean, it happens to, most people. That's life. But,
I mean, it's good to use that as a very positive spin to create something wonderful. How would you sort of describe your sound then and your voice as well? Has it been compared to anybody else?
Let's see. I mean, I think it's pretty, kind of like whimsical. I like to think it's kind of like haunting, kind of raspy. This song doesn't necessarily have as much of the sort of dynamics that, vocally I can probably hit, but people have said like Nora Jones. Sometimes I get Janis Joplin because I really can wail when the time calls for it. So I've had those comparisons, I would say.
Okay. And what about live gigs then? Have you been doing quite a lot of those as well?
I have not. No. Because really like I launched this, essentially at the end of 2020 or the beginning of 2021. So, there just really isn't the capacity. We're on, more or less kind of lockdown still with a lot of, certainly anything that involves more than 10 people. So there's not really live music happening at the moment. I was touring, or I was playing a bit. I played in a cover band for a few years. So we played, but again, COVID really just kind of shut, all things down, including, any kind of performing.
Now, Mussell Records, I've noticed on YouTube. Is that your family's company then?
Yeah. So my uncle and I started the record label Mussell Records when we started to launch his music. So that same band that I was telling you about, the country band from the early 90s, Paradise Motel, they sort of got back together. The remaining members got back together a couple of years ago and started writing music again. And so the company, I have a production company here in Victoria. So we filmed some music videos for them a couple of years ago, and then started the record label. And then, now we're releasing my music on it, and we've got a project in the works called Family Business, and it's essentially anyone in our family who had original music to contribute. My uncle is helping fund the production of their songs, and then my video production company will create some videos, and we'll do a documentary, and
oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a real powerhouse of a family.
Yes, muscles.
Oh, totally. Yeah, absolutely. It's just fantastic. And I as I said, I'm such a fan of this particular single, but I'm looking forward to so much more. What you're saying about you're good at the old wailing. I can't wait. Yeah. I can't wait.
Wailing. So loud.
So can you tell us, people listening to this, how we get to find your music? You like websites, etc.?
Yeah, of course. You can find my music on my website, chantellemussell.com. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, just at Chantelle Mussell, or, as you mentioned, our YouTube channel, Mussell Records.
That's awesome. So I got a quote here: smoothie, silky voice of the gritty little angel that is sure to rattle your bones. Well, consider my bones to be well and truly rattled. Chantelle Mussell, thank you so much. And let's listen to Perfect Little Failure.
Thank you so much.
Take care then. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye. Cheers. Bye.
Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, take me back in time before we lost on the other side of town. I know you're out with her, you lied to me, you let me down. Now my bags are packed and the city's in the mirror. Forget all about you and me and this perfect little failure. As I wait by the stairs, I look behind me and wonder, do you even notice and do you care? Bare feet and messy hair, I took the whiskey, left a note and my perfume in the air. Now my bags are packed and the city's in the mirror. Forget all about you and me and this perfect little failure. You took me down to the spring. I'd wonder if you love me, let you do just about anything. I lost me when I found you. I fell apart in tiny pieces, our planet's surface roots. Now my bags are packed and the city's in the mirror. Forget all about you and me and this perfect little failure. I forget what lights me up. Was it you or was it the whiskey? Our dream she interrupts. Our story left untold. I lie awake and wonder, is it her hand now that you hold? Boy, my bags are packed and the city's in the mirror. Forget all about you and me and her perfect little figure. Tears fill my eyes, my destiny's no clearer. I forget about me, I think of you, wonder if you're near her.
SNSonlineshow.com, your brand new one-stop shop for all things SNS. Take a tour through our wide and diverse collection of shows and listen in to our exclusive range of in-depth interviews spanning the popular arts, featuring actors, writers, journalists, stand-up comedians, musicians, and more. You can also enjoy our shorter Bitesized series covering vibrant new theatre, television, and book releases. And with our arts lifestyle remit, you get to explore issue-based topics, including health, mental health, women's rights around the world, and LGBTQ. Contact us with both your comments and suggestions for future guests. And don't forget to read up on our blog, regularly updated with articles and photographs. A forum where everyone is welcome to contribute. SNSonlineshow.com, your one-stop shop for all things SNS.